Good morning and welcome back to Saturday Morning Switch, where our Splatoon 2 coverage continues. While Splatoon and its sequel are primarily multiplayer experiences, both do also offer single player modes. For this sequel in particular, Nintendo have put a bit more effort in, crafting a tale involving Splatoon 1's squid sister Marie, hiring you to the new Squid Beat Splatoon in order to get back great Zapfish which has been stolen. This is apparently a big deal. As such, you venture into a variety of levels and worlds to defeat the age-old Octarian menace, retrieve small Zapfish, which I assume will all combine into the big Zapfish at the end of the campaign, and possibly unravel the mystery of where Callie's vanished off to. And, well, that's okay I guess, but you can't help but feel this is still an afterthought. Levels are primarily A to B to C to D and so on. You jump in from who knows where to a world made up of various assault course like chunks, and paint your way to the next leap pad, and so on until you reach the arbitrary end of level. There's no rhyme or reason to the level design, it's just the Splatoon assault course. Sometimes you'll have to defeat Octarians to progress, sometimes you'll need to find a key to open up vaults, sometimes there'll be paint-based platforming where you have to get up speed as a squid to jump further or shoot crates with paint to make them big enough to reach the next platform. But that's about it. The most complex it ever really gets is that some enemies have shields on the front. The game's offered solution is to throw a bomb to distract them, but it's usually easier just to swim around them and pop them from behind, rather than rely on random chance that they look away from you. To stop you just zooming through at breakneck speed, there's two collectibles hidden on each stage. One is a scrapbook page, which provides some context on the events that happen between the first and second games, while the other is a wrench of some kind. Collecting these allows you to purchase upgrades for your weaponry, though you'll also need the power eggs, a pellet style currency littered throughout the worlds. Though when you do unlock upgrades, you'll probably find that you can't afford any of them. It feels weird to offer this to players, yet not let them immediately pick up one on the cheap, as despite doing a pretty good job collecting orbs, I still fell short of the minimum 500 required just for a new bomb. And every upgrade also requires two of those wrenches, so if you're not looking for collectibles, prepare to remain pretty weak. To keep itself fresh, later levels unlock and get you to use different weapons and finishers. As someone who has resolutely stuck to the splatter shot and dualies because I prefer mid-range, having to suddenly use a roller certainly provided a challenge, as this expert footage is no doubt showy. Still, it provides a learning experience for stubborn players like me, and by using these weapons enough, you can unlock them for purchase from Sheldon and subsequently use them in multiplayer, so if one takes your fancy you can carry on with it. Though, to provide a direct comparison with Turf War and multiplayer, the single player feels slower? Stiffer? For whatever reason, it doesn't feel as fluid as the online. Maybe it's because of the glitter ink, or the theoretically larger play spaces, but there's always a nagging sensation that this isn't the game at its best. What it does allow for, though, is more experimental elements. Boost pads that zip you around, pufferfish that explode when you hit them, balloons tied to enemies that float away but are worth more points if you hit them first, zip lines, rings, vertical soaring platforming. There's a lot here that you'll never do elsewhere in the game. This is highlighted most of all by the bosses, which often make no sense but provide the most pure version of a single player's ideas, as the obstacle course is now a living, breathing enemy you have to paint and scale. I couldn't tell you why the Octarians built a giant toaster that spews gunk, but I could tell you fighting it was hella fun. But that's not the only fun part of the single player, which is also my biggest annoyance. You see, to play the levels, you go to them in a hub world. A hub world which is kind of like a small little world with their own collectibles and challenges. Exploring and getting to each level entrance is its own mini puzzle. Balloon challenges will have you running across the hubs, laying ink trails in advance as you dash from target to target before they float away. And this is what Splatoon's single player should be. These moments of self-discovery blow away the straight lines of the actual levels. Speaking of self-discovery, Marie's in her element here. Spend the time to talk to her for a few minutes before you first play, she's hilarious. She'll coach you during levels too, providing advice on how to clear tricky sections or use new mechanics, while also providing snark if you decide to go after collectibles. Her quips help break up the somewhat monotonous nature of the single player levels and provide pretty much all of the story you're going to get. So, is it worth it? Yes and no. It's not a reason to buy the game thanks to some bland levels and enemies that make it feel a bit like a chore, even with each course lasting only 10 minutes or so. On the other hand, as another element of the whole experience, it works, acting as both a tutorial to playstyles you may be unfamiliar with, and a cooldown from the more intense multiplayer environments, while also showing you a side of Splatoon you won't see elsewhere. I will finish it off one day, if only to hopefully get an answer to the Callie mystery, but it's not as big a priority as, say, reaching level 30 in multiplayer. And that brings this week's episode to a close. Feel free to comment telling me all about your thoughts on Splatoon 2 single player, and if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like or subscribe to the channel. Next week we'll be looking back at what July has brought to the Switch, and then after that it should probably be Salmon Run before we begin to focus on Mario X Rabbids. So until then, see you all everybody, and thanks for watching.